so interesting, but it's a lot of information.
I'm kind of tired. Me too. I should close our eyes for a little while. I wish we could go back in time and just learn about all of this, back to Puritan times.
Puritan times, we're all going to Puritan times, yeah.
Already.
Hello, ladies.
Who are you?
Why, I'm William Bradford.
Where are we?
We're in Jamestown, Massachusetts in the mid-1600s. I'm one of the Puritan leaders here.
What are you doing here, though?
Why, I live here, of course. I wrote many accounts of Puritan literature in the Pilgrims' expeditions while in Jamestown and assisted in the writing of the Mayflower Compact. Living in Jamestown, I was elected governor 30 continuous times. In addition to my political role in the community, I also influenced the religious generations of Jamestown because I led the entire colony to a new land where we gained our religious freedom.
What did you write about?
Although my work hasn't been published yet, I wrote about the many struggles the Pilgrims had to overcome on their long voyage over to the new land. I write in the simple language, which has become known as Puritan plant style. In my most famous writing, Of Plymouth Plantation, I write about the arduous journey on the ship on our way over to the New World, the founding of Plymouth Plantation, and the Pilgrims' experiences during the early years of the colony. My article provides a first-hand view of the Pilgrims' struggle to endure the courage and unshakable religious faith that helped us survive.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bradford.
Oh, it was my pleasure, ladies.
Thank you.
So long.
Can't wait to see you in the next chapter.
How are you? I'm Anne.
Wait, you look familiar. Are you Anne Bradstreet?
Yes, I'm Anne Bradstreet.
I read about you in my literature book. Can you tell me a little bit about your life and your works of literature?
My family and I traveled from England to America on one of the first ships sank. I love poetry, and before all my work was shown to the public, I wrote for only my immediate family. My poetry is primarily based upon my life experiences and my love for my husband and my family. Many people think that the most interesting aspect of my work is how the search for knowledge was believed to be against God's will and was frowned upon by those around me.
Seemed like you experienced hard times. Were you and other women in your community and society accepted?
Well, women were thought to be keepers of the house in my community. Men were superior to us, and we were forced to take care of our families at home. When my work was first shown to the public, it was automatically rejected. Many of the topics I wrote about were about the struggles of Puritan women.
How was your work published if women were so disregarded?
I was the first woman to have her work published. One of my most recognized pieces, Upon the Burning of Our House, was published July 10, 1666. In my writing, I use a personal voice that shares my feelings about the occurrence. In it, I explain that it was God who willed this to happen, and thus it is just fine.
That's really cool. Is there anything else that's interesting about your life or about what you wrote?
Not too many people liked me because I wrote about being an individual, a concept that Puritans taught against. If there's one thing I could tell you, it's to be your own person and persevere to achieve what you want. Although my ideas were rejected at first, I kept trying, and look where it put me now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
On to the next chapter.
Hello, girls.
Hello. Are you another Puritan author?
Yes, I am Cotton Mather. I'm not only a proud author of more than 400 books and pamphlets, but I also was in the ministry and preached for most of my life.
Where were you from?
I was born into a wealthy family of Puritan church leaders in Boston. I entered the ministry after I received 2 degrees from Harvard College.
What were some of your most famous writings?
My books include Memorable Providence, Relating to Witchcraft and Possessions, and The Wonders of the Invisible World, which is a report of the testimony at the Salem witchcraft trials. In my writing, I use ornate, elegant language, and I frequently use allusions, which are short references to literary works or figures, places, or events from history, religion, or mythology. In my book, The Wonders of the Invisible World, I use a plain, direct, journalist style.
What was your main purpose for writing these books?
My main purpose for writing The Wonders of the Invisible World was to justify the outcome of the trials. I wrote the other books because I felt that my generation was falling away from the original vision and purpose of the Puritan immigrants in North America.
That's very interesting.
I know it is. It's what we Puritans are all about.
Oh no, we're getting sucked into the last chapter.
So long, ladies. Don't run into any witches.
Today was really interesting.
We met so many interesting authors.
I wish you could have met William Byrd.
You mean me?
William Byrd!
Thank you for coming.
Anytime. What can I do for you?
Well, first of all, tell me a little bit about your early life. Like, how did you get started in literature?
Well, I spent most of my early years in England. I traveled back to Virginia, and I inherited my seat on my family's plantation. For a while, I wrote what became known as my secret diary. I also wrote music. I composed 2 significant collections of music in English, psalms, sonnets, and songs in 1588, and the songs of Sundry Natures in 1589. I also wrote a large amount of Anglican church music for the Chapel Royal.
You seem to be doing a lot.
I also love to keep a journal because it was easy to express my ideas. My journal entries were eventually published and used in stories, poems, and essays.
Could you tell me about one of your journals?
Well, Hannah, the history of the dividing line described the experiences of a group of surveyors who tried to settle boundary disputes between the states of North Carolina and Virginia.
Is there anything else?
I wrote many things, but a few were A Journey to the Land of Eden, A Progress to the Mines, and the famous Secret Diaries of William Byrd of Westover. My works continue to be published and read by students of history.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Byrd.
You're very welcome, girls.
So much fun. Now's time to go back to regular times.
Present times, we're all going back to present times.
That was weird.
We learned so much about Puritan literature today.
I hope we get an A on our project.
Me too.
You don't live on the west coast of... No, east. I wrote about the many... Shut up! Until right... I messed up. Hello, girls. Why, you're in the land of Jamesport, Massachusetts. It's Jamestown, isn't it? Write me down!
What are you doing here?
I don't know.
I can't do it.
What a loser!
What's next?
Are you ready?
Your friends behind.
Friends don't dance and if they don't dance... Push.
Peter, shut up! Peter, you have to
Oh!
Pause.
Women in your society and community accepted?
You're reading.
Just keep going.
I was born in a nest. My mom, she was very influential. You know, when I first developed my wings, she pushed me out of the nest and said it's either fly or die. Use the readers today. Why are you laughing?
Tell me about one of your journals.
For a while, I wrote what became known as My Life as the Birdman.
We're getting sucked into the books!
S S S A A A F F F E E E T T T Y Y Y.
How big is your shoe, Shiggy?